All right, looks like we are live. Hello, hello. I did not realize we were already live.
All right, looks like we are live. Hello, hello. I did not.
All right, so this is Zoom. I'm still getting the hang of this. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to be getting started here shortly. There's a lot to cover today. Oh, my goodness. I was going to make a video, and I thought there's just too much to put in one video, so I thought about doing it live. Welcome to Kaser. Hello, Raymond. Hello, hello. What's up, man? We're going to be getting started here. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that, smash that like button for me. We're going to cover just about every platform that I'm currently a part of right now today. There is so much going on. There's major updates to just about every platform, major announcements to just about every platform. What's up, Herb? Welcome, welcome. Hello, Paul. We're going to be getting started, so please smash that like button. Let people know. I know it's early in the morning. This isn't the time that a lot of people do lives, but I've got to get my day started. I got to get to work. And it was just going to be easier and quicker to be able to do a live. And I like interacting with you all. It doesn't do as much. There's not as much replayability on YouTube for lives, but I like, hey, Sydney, Australia. I've been to Australia. I've been through Sydney. I flew through Sydney. I went to the Gold Coast. I was there for about a week. It was a good time. Great country while I was there. You have a great country. And I need to get back there. It's just one heck of a flight. Appreciate it, Kylis. Appreciate you smashing that like button. We are going to cover so much today. Everything from Dootron's got an announcement to 888's had some major announcements. P3T, even Daily Black Pearl of all places. Alpha One. Good morning. Good morning. Dude, super excited. Just made 3K Tron using your strategy. Are you talking about on Dootron? Man, Dootron that is so amazing. I freaking love that's like my number one right now. And part of it's just because it's fun to play, to be honest with you. And it's good that it's probably the top earner right now. Yep. Always, game responsibly. You can win in the short run. You can lose in the long run. Just keep that in mind. All right, we're going to, let me figure out how to do a screen share here. We'll get this party started. Dootron. Yeah, Dootron's fun. Hello from Japan. Raymond, I didn't know you're always from Japan. That's why all the North Americans are going to work. Good morning, Felix. Great to have you here, Felix. I freaking love all of you guys being a part of this community. Thank you so much. This is really our community. I know it's my channel, but it's our community. All right. Let's get this party started. I just had that Black Eyed Peas song in my head. We will get to moving along here. I don't know what's showing up for the, this is what's supposed to be showing up, but I don't think that's what shows up for my title. Hang on a minute, I gotta adjust this down a little bit so I can see what I got up here. All right, that's awesome. Good afternoon from South Africa. Hello, Vernon. Hey, I gotta tell you, I still don't get what happened with 888. Herb, I'll try to explain that when I bring up 888. Some people would say that 888's not doing very well right now, but I would say if they maintain what they're doing right now, if they can keep doing what they're doing right now long term, it could be good. The challenge, check this out. 2 million Trons distributed. That's awesome. That wasn't what I wanted to show you. High-low tutorial. They need to go check out my tutorial. One of you guys should Twitter, send my playlist to them on Twitter at Dootron. In fact, all of us should do it, so they'll put that playlist up there. Because I biasly think it's the best playlist on Dootron, on teaching Dootron. All right, I'm trying to find, they've got a lot of stuff up here. They're pretty active on Twitter, it looks like. Here we go. Is this it? Check this guy out. Just hit 24K on one bet. Dang, these bets are getting out of hand. So the guy compounded. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can blow it up. Check that out. He compounded to 24,000 TRX and in one play, and he got 566 due for that play, and he made it to round 7. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. That someone was able to do that. But you gotta compound when you can. You gotta compound when you can. That's the power play, I think, on Do. Okay, so big announcements coming up for Do. First of all, there's gonna be an update they're gonna be doing. I'm gonna be playing this some today. They're gonna be doing an update. There's announcements. There's going to be some downtime Thursday, 3 to 4 UTC plus 8. If you go to Google and just type in time zone UTC plus 8, you can see what time it is. But it's going to be between 3 and 4 p.m. their time zone. Currently on Eastern time, when I did it, they're 12 hours ahead. So like 12 hours tomorrow if you're in Eastern time. 3 or 4 in the morning is when they're going to be doing this downtime. So hopefully when we wake up, it'll be golden. The new jackpot will be effective 11 a.m. Basically what they're saying is this jackpot has gotten too high. It's too hard to accomplish these two things to get the jackpot. So they're going to increase the odds by like 11 times of how fast you can pump that doo-doo. That's funny. On how fast you can, once you get to level 5, you start increasing your odds or there's like raffle tickets that go in somehow. They're not clear on how they do it, but at level 5, wow, look at somebody, won 1,400 Tron. At level 5, you start increasing your odds every level after level 5, your chances of winning the jackpot. Whatever those current odds now are right now, they're going to increase that by 11 times. I think that's neither here nor there. If you've seen my playlist on my channel, then that playlist, don't play too much, leave some for us. I'm going to play a lot today because these tokens are getting more expensive. But the playlist on my channel, you notice my strategy is I really don't play for the jackpot. It's really about how to collect as much due as possible for the least amount, or how to have the most fun playing, knowing that even though you're going to lose in the long run, that you're not going to lose, you're going to lose less, so to speak, in the long run. Now, if you look right here, used to, for this 1,500 bet, which is what I always play. Remember, the game is if you want to get due as cheap as possible, then you know in the long run, if you play too many small bets, you're going to lose. You're always going to lose in the long run. So it's kind of a hit and run strategy. I say if you have, for example, 10,000 Tron you're going to play with, use 1,000 Tron per bet. If you have, now I don't do that. I come in here like today, I'll probably spend about 10,000 Tron and I'll still bet 1,500. But 1/10 of your daily bankroll or your event, maybe once a week or whatever. Someone told me that they spend about 300 Tron per day on due. And the way they do it is they just come over here with 3,000 Tron a day. They just come over here with 3,000 Tron. They just play whatever due they got. They just freeze it and cash out. And that's really how you want to do it. You want to do as big as bet as possible over a short time period and kind of hit and run. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen, if you're here. Please help me out. Let's grow this community. So the downtime probably won't even affect those of us on the East Coast. I'm thinking at least, it says 3 to 4, but the jackpot will be live by 11. So I don't know if that means the website will be live by 4 a.m. or if it'll be live by 11 a.m. We'll see tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. But that's the big announcement for due. Yeah, it varies a lot. I get so many comments. People are like, I use your strategy and lost. Yes, you will always lose. It is a gambling game. Long term, you're going to lose. One guy told me that the algorithm was rigged because he got a king and an ace came up. That happened to me 4 times yesterday. That's not a rig, in my opinion. That's just odds going against you in the short term. I've also had times, where I sat down with 10,000 Tron to play. Well, actually, this weekend, I sat down with 20,000 Tron to play, and I won 8,000 or 9,000 right off the bat. And then I went on a horrible spell and I lost a lot. And then I came back up again. I mean, that's how gambling works. That's what it is. Sumit Das said he put in 4,000 Tron and walked out with 8,000 Tron. Great job. Great job. See, that's just how it works. It's up and down. It's just about playing the odds the best you can. All right, so that's Dootron. By the way, the other thing is Dootron's on an exchange. Who's ever heard of this exchange? I haven't. It's got 24-hour volume. Dootron has 24-hour volume of 200. This looks like somebody basically showed up and tried to sell a lot of Dootron. It's going for 375. I think you can mine it for less, and I think most of you feel the same way. 400. Gotcha, Sumit. I think most of you agree that you usually playing, quote unquote, mining, you can get it for less than that. I mean, if you look at the order books, there's not a ton for sale. I think most people have it frozen. People wanted it to be on an exchange. I've just learned that I was going to be okay if it didn't make it on an exchange for a while. How long do you think Bankroll can last? Mike P, we're going to get to Bankroll. We're going to be covering everything. We're covering Bankroll. You're on the basically the Tron Dapp morning show right now with Crypto Wealth. We're going to be covering Bankroll. We're going to be covering just about everything. So just stay tuned. We're going to be covering about every platform that I'm currently in. So just stay tuned. All right. So they're on an exchange. If you want to sell your tokens, I'm currently have no interest in selling my tokens. This, by the way, this covers the jackpot record. They have an announcement about the whole maintenance I just did. I'm not going to read through this. I just told you they're going to increase. Oh, not 11. 7. The lottery effect on players will be raised by 17 times, allowing each player a higher chance to win the jackpot. Meaning when you cross over round 5, instead of going up, it's going to increase your chances of winning by 17 times. All players must cash out. That's important. Any dividends that you have, make sure you cash out to prevent loss of any dividends. So tonight, after midnight, you want to make sure you cash out. Frozen Dew will not be affected, so there's nothing to worry about there. All right. Let's keep moving along. What's up next? I think this is 888. Yes, 888. So 888 is pretty interesting. Sorry, I wish I could move this. Hang on a second. I'm trying to see if I can. Is there a way to move this? I don't see any way to move it. Okay. Everything's in the way of my tabs up here, my controls. But anyway, so here's 888. Now, 888 is interesting. Dividends. I did the math. These are the dividends I've got. Those of you who've been following my channel for a while, just go to Dootron and click exchange, Matteo. It's on the Dootron website. Joyso or something like that is the name of the exchange. But at the height, I did math this morning. At the height of the price of 888 tokens, I got in. I've bought back in. Those of you who don't know, until yesterday, I was still holding all of my tokens. In fact, I bought in some more. I originally sold at around 10. The price dropped to like 8. I thought it might drop a little bit lower. I bought in at like 8.47 for most of mine. I was trying to buy in at 7. Why is my screen heart beating? I don't know. Let me know if anyone else is having trouble with my screen. It looks fine on my end, on my mobile device. So I don't know why. I don't know. Sorry. I bought in ended up with 11,000 tokens because I just bought in with some extra ones when I got that lower price. I wrote it up yesterday. I had a sell order for, I think, 2,500 tokens at 14. That hit yesterday. If you don't know, the price has been on a bit of a tear. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I'm trying to get hang on. I'm going to have to close some of these down so I can see. There we go. So the price actually went up for 888. It actually went all the way up to, where's that? 15 Tron. And I got a sell order at 14. I had a sell order at 14 for 2,500, which is awesome. And so I still have a sell order for 500 at 17. I've had that on for a long time. We'll see if we hit it. I think there were some major announcements coming out yesterday. The day before yesterday, they put an announcement out in Telegram. Someone told me about that basically said they're going to implement a buyback and a burn. That was good. And then another announcement came out and said that they basically were voting what to do. They're going to take 15% of profits for 3 months, and they're trying to basically determine the best way to use those profits. So there's a vote in there. Go to the website, Dootron, and check it out. And click on exchange. So and that will show you the exchange for Dootron. So the price is currently at 11.69 or 11.7, but they're doing a buyback. They're going to take 15% of profits for the next 3 months, and they're voting on what to do. It looks like one of the votes is a buyback and a burn. The other vote is to take the 15% of profits, buy back, and reward the people who have had Tron frozen for the longest without having it unfrozen. And they're going to basically do like a rewards thing. I found that kind of interesting. I would rather buy back and burn always, personally. That's just what I like. But I find that rewarding token holders who have had the Tron frozen the longest, I find that interesting because it helps them. It does a little bit to help them stay ahead of inflation. So I don't know what they're going to ultimately do, but nonetheless, it's really good that they're looking to do that to support the token. Now, long term, they need to do something to support players. They need to just get more players here. That's really what it comes down to, getting more players. And there's a decent amount of players. I mean, if you look at the divs, I mean, we're only at 79,000 right now, but I think we finished up, I don't know, maybe 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. I don't know what we were. We were in several million by this morning. I didn't get up and take a look at it. But even I did some math this morning. Even with these tokens right here, Herb, I'll get back. Herb wants to know why the token price dumped in the first place. All right, I'll go ahead and mention that. What happened is 2 days ago, I guess, when we had or 4 days ago. Anyway, one of the last really big payout that we had. Hey, Crypto Bob. The last really big payout that we had, all of a sudden the site froze instantly. I think it was a couple of things. Trontopia was supposed to launch and they kind of trolled everybody and they didn't. So I think somebody was trying to withdraw divs. I think a lot of people were trying to withdraw divs and maybe sell some tokens, hoping they could repeat the same phenomena on a new casino Dapp. And then it never launched. To make matters worse, the website literally froze and even went down. And I think it freaked people out that happened immediately after payout. And people started dumping tokens. People panicked. And then once the panic started, it just continued. And the token price dived. I mean, at first, I was like, oh, I was live streaming during that time. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I bought, at 21. And I tried to buy at 19. And I didn't. And then later on, I'm watching the price and it's dumping. And I was like, oh, my goodness. I actually ended up panic selling at like 14. And then I bought back in at like 11 or 12. That kind of hurt a little bit. And then finally, when I bought back in, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to ride this out one way or another. The website ended up coming back online and it worked just fine. But by that point, people had dumped tokens so low. The prices are so low that it's actually cheaper to buy tokens than it is to mine. And I think there are people who are buying tokens now with a chance of trying to sell later because they believe that the price is going to go up. I think the price may go up. Here's the thing. Roulette's coming out next month. It's supposed to. It's on the roadmap. And then there's not, the roadmap doesn't, the roadmap goes out for a few months, but there's not a lot else on the roadmap. They really need to do some more promotion for players. And that's what's going to have to, good morning, John. Good morning. That's what's going to have to, okay, but no one came back since. Yeah, no miners have came back. That's the thing. That's the big thing. However, getting back to what I was talking about earlier, I did the math this morning. On my tokens, at my price, assuming that I paid a price of 30 TRX for every token, I still got dividends every 2 days. That's a 0.3% dividend. If you don't know, that comes out to a little over 100% a year ROI. It looks like mine. Okay, that's up to 100% a year ROI on these tokens, even at the price that I paid. So if you do the math at current prices, that's a 1% return. If you do the math at current prices. So I think that there may be an argument to buy tokens, especially at current price, to freeze them. Here's the thing. I'm still getting 1,852. I did the math on this in USD value. If I got that every 2 days, that still comes out to, I would have to do the math again. What is it? 1852 times 0.23. That's not right. It's not. Is it $400 every 2 days? That can't be right. 1852. Yeah, give me the math, Raymond. Times 0.023. There we go. $42. Oh my goodness. So that makes more sense. $42 a day is what I got on there. That's not bad. Times it by 15 days because you get paid every 2 days, $638 a month in fiat value. That's good. Like, I don't care what you say. That's still not bad. And I'm holding the tokens now. So the way I see it, my Tron has been spent and I've compounded and compounded. If I liquidated all the tokens at this very moment at this price, I would be somewhere around, maybe a little down. I actually don't even know the full amount of fiat value I put in because I was pulling crypto from everywhere. It wasn't $4,000. Maybe it was $3,000. I don't know. But between what I've already pulled out of the platform plus this value, I'm pretty close to even. Plus, I'm going to be earning about 638 in fiat. So I think there's an argument to be made for someone looking for kind of a longer term play out. No, math is not my forte. You're absolutely right. You ain't got to feel bad about that. It's important to understand, and I think most people overlook it. But I absolutely F it up. You ain't got to feel bad at all about that, Herb. That is so true. Smash that like button if you know my math skills suck, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. But with that being said, I think there's an argument to hold the tokens if you have them, and there might be an argument to because there's potential for it to go up. The dividends are not horrible for a business model. Keep in mind, this is not a withdrawal contract where we know it has an end. We can get diluted by people continuing to mine, but mining's not happening super fast. They are working on doing things to be able to maintain token value, and hopefully they're working behind the scenes to roll out more things that's going to incentivize more players. That's going to be good. Thanks, Raymond. I appreciate it. So there's where we're at with Token 888. They've got some new announcements. They're definitely working on things. And, you know, long-term dividends don't look horrible. We'll see if they can maintain. All right, next up, P3T. My goodness. So P3T just came out with Whale Wars. I'm not going to be participating with Whale Wars. Personally, it's a little bit like a game called FOMO 3D that I've been a part of before. I'm personally not going to be participating with Whale Wars, but I think it's good that 5% of the contract it's over. Trayvon dumped on you guys. Not exactly true. I don't know if you know this, but Trayvon's been buying back in. So since you're a Trayvon fan, go back to his channel, subscribe, hit his bell notification icon, and you follow his lead, Ennis. So thanks, John. I appreciate it. So the thing about FOMO, I mean, the same thing about FOMO 3D is I've been there, done that. They've launched their version of it. Basically, the best part about it, though, is it feeds the daily Tron. It feeds the daily Tron. So they're going to be buying back. They're going to be buying back the. We're not buying back. They're going to be putting 5% of the profits back in the daily ROI, and this continues to go. It continues to pump for sure. I'm going to go into a withdrawal here. P3T trying hard. They are Bitcoin for life. Hey, welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. I haven't even paid attention to the contract. Is it going down? 33. Maybe it's time to do a lot of withdrawing if it's going down. I don't know what it was at its peak, but I just withdrew. The idea with Whale Wars, though, and Whale Wars is still going to pay out at some point. The good thing about it is it's going to attempt to feed the contract, so that's not a bad thing. I'm curious what they're going to do once the contract dies. Do they bring it back? Do they bring like a new version? That's what I'm curious about. We'll see. Here's the surprise of the day. Black Pearl. My goodness. So this thing was down to 40-something thousand. All of a sudden, it's up here to 1.8 million Tron. I mean, that is mind-blowing. I mean, that just blows my mind. Here I have been withdrawing the whole time from here, and it looks like they're still fighting for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and do a withdrawal from here. I was telling people to stay out of Black Pearl, but my goodness, when there's that kind of pump to it, yeah, you could definitely put some more in there probably. I wasn't saying stay out of it. Some people like it. I was just saying I was in no hurry to personally get into it, but that's awesome. I love to see that. I absolutely love to see that. Now, the best thing about these dApps, Black Pearl's community is strong. Black Pearl's community is amazingly strong. I've been in their Discord. It is amazingly strong. I mean, those guys are fighting to keep something going for sure. They've been screwed over by one dev after the other. And some of the community members have jumped up, and they are looking to create projects and platforms. Like they're amazing to watch in Discord. They might be fighting a feudal fight, but their main thing is keeping the Meta exchange and the Meta token live. It's kind of their main thing. What's the price of this thing? Down to 6 Tron. But that is their whole main thing. So now what's amazing about all these platforms, daily TRX here, the best thing about it is it pays out like 4%, which is pretty cool. But that also means that it tends to have a shorter lifespan. Anything that pays out, you start getting over 3%, you have a short lifespan. Hey, Bitcoin for life, stay tuned. I've got something that you've got to see here in a moment, specifically you, because I've seen some of your videos on this topic. But before we get there, Tron Village. So one of the things, all of these withdrawal contracts, is important to understand, they all end. Every single one of them ends. There is no exception to that. At some point, the withdrawals become so strong that there's more withdrawals coming out than people are putting money in. There's only so many Tron players, Tron hodlers, Tron investors, and at some point, there's no more market saturation exists. I can't believe they're at 74 million Tron, just so you know. But one of the reasons to Tron Village's success is because they have this forced 50% reinvest. So you're earning, like I'm earning 448 coins, but the reality is I'm only earning 224. 224 go here and 224 go here. I can't withdraw these at all. At all. I can withdraw these. So basically it's a 50% forced reinvest. With these, I can buy more buildings. I'll do that now. And I can withdraw here. So it's a 50% reinvest. And that's what kind of keeps a platform alive. It prevents people from withdrawing so fast. Now, what I'm going to show you on the next two platforms, and Bankroll being one of them, is how they get their participants to reinvest greater than 50%. So the participants, it's not a forced reinvest, but it causes you to reinvest and you don't even realize you're doing it. People are doing it by choice, which I think is beautiful from a psychological marketing standpoint. It's not coercive at all. Part of it's people don't pay attention, and part of it is people just enjoy the entertainment. So the first one here is Tron Double. So Tron Double, they were the first one to do this, and I thought, this is genius, where they don't force a reinvest. They just psychologically cause people to want to reinvest. In other words, they cause people to limit their own withdrawals. This one's only been online for 23 days. I spoke to a guy yesterday. I think Tron Double is one of the most underrated withdrawal contracts, period. I spoke to a guy yesterday, and he told me that his whole method is when he finds out about one of these contracts, he goes in big and he reinvests for 2 weeks, and then he doesn't care if it lasts 30 days or 300 days. He never puts one more Tron back in. He just does 100% reinvest from that point forward. I thought that was an interesting strategy. Not saying it's the best strategy, but I thought that was an interesting strategy. I'm a fan of Tron Village because I've been in a part of it for so long. All right, Bitcoin for life. You got to see this. So here's why Tron Double is so awesome. Most of the community gets way less than 1% a day. Way less. And you don't see 1% listed up here nowhere. But it's because the devil's in the details. There's only one of these that makes any sense if you think this platform is going to last more than 30 days. There's only one. And that's 3% a day. I don't even understand why they have the 3.84 or 4.4. I got to imagine most everybody's either doing the 5.6 or the 3. The thing about the 5.6 that's important is it's 5.6% daily, but they're returning your own principal, which means you only get 12% in 20 days, not 112%. You only get 12%. That's less than 1% a day. And then it's done. In order to keep going, you have to reinvest. But when you reinvest, you're reinvesting that principal. They're still paying you less than 1% a day, even if you're reinvesting constantly. With Pink Diamond, you put in, say, 1,000 Tron. It's going to take you 31 or 32 days to get it all back. When you get it all back, you've got your original investment back, and you could argue you've not made anything yet. But then you're going to make 3% daily for the next however long it lasts. So it's important to understand that if you think this thing's going to make it more than 30 days, there's no reason to be anywhere else but the 3% daily, because at the 60-day mark, it massively out-earns everything else. When you never have to pull any more principal out. You never have to reinvest any more principal. And if you do reinvest principal, you're just increasing the rate of some people like to do a 50% reinvest. If you did that, all you're doing is increasing your total Tron amount because it's 3%, 3%, 3%. So it's amazing. I think this one's got legs. I think if it could last a while, because most people aren't doing the 3%. Most people are seeing this 5.6% daily. They're jumping on board and they're having to reinvest that initial principal to keep earning. And they're not even getting 1% a day, which I think is genius on their part, on Tron Double's part. It's really fascinating. So I think this thing could potentially last a while because there's not a lot of people doing heavy withdrawals. I mean, if you're doing 3% daily, this is the biggest, heaviest withdrawal. So just keep that in mind. And I don't have links in this video, but I have links to everything. If you go to any of my videos, if you want to support my channel, you can feel free to click on any of those links. But those are my affiliates if you want to know. Those are, but it's only got 1,000 investors. It's only got 10 million. I wish I showed how much was withdrawn here. My guess is they've withdrawn very little, like very, very little. This is the sleeper that no one's talking about that has legs, in my opinion, as long as people, are aware of it and use it. They also have a D3T token, a D3D, and whatever. I don't even pay attention to this. I just do the ROI. All right, next up is Bankroll. Someone said, how long can Bankroll last? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, smash that like button. Help a fella out, could you? We're going to get the Bankroll here in a moment. What they're about to do is going to be genius too. I mean, it's going to be, and when I say genius, I mean, they're creating ways for people. I'm just pouring a little coffee here. I literally have a thermos full of coffee by my desk. There's no need to get up for coffee. Just pour it right here while you're working. Or in this case, collecting that free Tron, baby. Just shaking out the money tree, shaking out the laptop, as Bitcoin for Life says. Go check out that guy's channel. He's got a great channel. It's nothing but enthusiasm. So let's go to Bankroll. Now, Bankroll is incredible. And I'll be honest with you. I think it's overhyped 100%. No, I haven't seen that Bitcoin for Life. But I think Bankroll, unfortunately, is overhyped. And I do think it's good. But please, ladies and gentlemen, I will do my best not to intentionally mislead you on this channel. I will do my best not to do that. And when I make a video, I give you my opinion as it is in the moment. And I'm not saying anything bad about anyone else, but I'm not going to intentionally do a pump and dump. I'm not going to intentionally do anything like that. It doesn't mean I wouldn't change my mind when I'm not, live, but I'm going to do my best to tell you like it is, the way I believe. Now, you will never hear me say any of these withdrawal contracts is sustainable. I know, Raymond, I get it. But it's amazing at some of the comments that we see in some of these videos. But anyway, so Bankroll is sustainable. And I mean, it is not sustainable. So I hate when I see this word. And they pump this word all the time. Sustainable to me means that it can continue on indefinitely. Tron Bet might be sustainable. My referral link, I'm not even sure how to share that if you go look at one of my other videos, Zoo Jersey, just go, any other video should have it in the description. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Give me a thumbs up on this channel, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button. We got 50 people here. Let's see 50 likes at least. Come on. Thank you to Zoo Jersey. I appreciate that. So here's the thing about Bankroll. None of these withdrawal contracts are sustainable indefinitely. Tron Bet might be, depending on if they can continue to attract a player base. Hey, Crypto C. Tron Bet may be sustainable. 888 could be sustainable as long as that comes down to business management. If they run a good business, if they attract players, they're going to be sustainable. Bankroll, Tron Double, P3T, Tron Village, none of these are sustainable. They will never continue indefinitely. Don't let someone tell you that. I mean, I hear people saying, oh, this might go on for years. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that this is going to be sustainable. Thank you, fellas, for years. I don't know that it makes it even 1 year. It could. And what they're coming out with next is give them credit for being ingenious, at least. So they're going to come up with this thing where it's called Bank Luck, I guess is what they're calling it. It's basically a dice game. But get this, and I'll explain the genius in a moment. Here's the thing about dice luck. Thank you, John. Dice luck is basically, or bank luck, sorry. Bank luck is basically where you're going to be able to play. And it's going to be close to 50-50 with a house edge. So just imagine for a moment that you're playing a 50-50 dice game or anything else. If you win and you bet, say, 1,000 Tron, you're going to get 1,000 Tron or 100 Tron or whatever. If you bet and you win, you're going to, quote unquote, double your Tron. If you bet and you lose, then what's going to happen when you lose is 12% of your loss is going to come here as a sponsorship. What that means is 12% of your losses will go right here and you'll be able to earn from them at 3.3%. The rest of your 85%, the rest of it goes to the treasury. 2.5% goes to developers. But the 85% that you lose, so if you bet 100 Tron and you lose, 12 Tron goes here, you're going to earn on it indefinitely 3.3%. And if you go to, but if you end up losing, then it goes to the treasury. Now, the reason this is incredible is because it helps, quote unquote, sustainability. That's the idea behind it. It helps sustainability. So it is what it is, but they're adding a gambling game. It's not going to, now people think, someone said to me, yeah, but don't you think if people keep playing, then it should last forever? No, because at some point there's always going to be new people creating withdrawals. They would have to have more people losing than people are withdrawing, but it does a lot. That's crazy. It does a lot. I don't have time for drama, Bitcoin for life. You know, you get dragged into drama all over the place. I try to be anti-drama, and let's just earn Tron, learn about crypto as much as possible. But anyway, so the whole thing is, if you can get people playing, then yeah, it's going to add to the contract. So I actually added about 10 more yesterday, and I'm going to roll this right now right into the contract. And the reason I'm rolling it is because I think it's going to have some legs for a while. So I'm going to roll that in there, and I'm probably going to hold that and diversify into. I added more to Tron Double yesterday, and I did add a little more to P3T. Although I'm done adding to P3T for now, but I added some more to Tron Double, and I'm going to add even more to Tron Double. I think I want to get Tron Double. I want to get Tron Double up to probably 30K Tron too. But Bankroll is definitely it's definitely got some legs if they bring out this bank luck and people play it. Because here's the real genius of it. Here's what's going to happen. People are going to take the genius is it uniquely keeps crypto in the contract. Because here's what's going to happen. People are going to win. People are going to take their divs. They're going to withdraw their divs, and they're going to play bank luck. When they lose, it just goes back to the treasury. So that's awesome. Most of it goes back to the treasury. If they win, they're going to win. And what are most people going to do with their winnings? Or what are most people going to do with their winnings, or at least a big portion of their winnings? Somebody guess. Put it in the chat. What are most people going to do with their winnings? At least a sizable portion? Anybody know? They're going to reinvest those things back into Bankroll. Most people are going to take part of those winnings and reinvest it into Bankroll. Yeah, roll. Exactly, Raymond. And then when they reinvest it, it's just going to keep money in the contract, or keep Tron in the contract. Or that we're talking about their winnings. Yeah, they might just keep gambling till they lose. But if they win, they're just going to keep money in the contract. So it's genius. If you lose, it goes in the contract. You get part of it as a sponsorship. If you win, a lot of people are going to put it back in the contract. If people get daily divs, a lot of people are going to withdraw those daily divs and gamble with them, with bank luck. So from that standpoint, I looked at that yesterday and thought, my God, give them credit. Yeah, I think it's overhyped. Yeah, it's not going to last for years. I'm not in this Telegram, but people are saying in the Telegram, the admin's talking about this being a store of value and blah, blah, blah. I'm so sorry. That is inaccurate. No offense to, maybe he believes that. I'm blown away at people not understanding some basic logic, and I'll do my best to help educate people and help them wrap their brain around it. And math isn't my strong point. I can understand the concepts better than I can understand the math behind the concepts. Technical, the micro technical stuff's not even an expert. Gamble till you die. That's awesome, Sumit. If you're going to gamble till you die, go to Dootron. At least with Dootron, you have a chance to earn those divs back, for sure. Dootron is absolutely my favorite. Hey, one thing I forgot to mention about Tron Double that's fascinating, and Bitcoin for Life, you'll appreciate this because I know you're a fan of Tron Double. By the way, go check out Bitcoin for Life's channel, ladies and gentlemen. He has a great channel. He's just always positive. You know, he's always just shaking out the Tron out of his computer. It's fun. Just search Bitcoin for Life. You'll find his channel. Just search Bitcoin for Life in YouTube. You'll find his channel. I'm a Dootron. Well, that's because I've been using, most people don't know this. I use Bitcoin for Life. I use he's one of the first people that I heard about Bitcoin that I could remember. Good job, John. Just diversify out into something else eventually. So I ended up using his affiliate link. So I make all these 1,500 bets and he gets a percentage of that due. So good stuff. And no, you know, I try to support smaller YouTubers that are smaller than I am. I mean, I'm still a small YouTuber, and I probably will be for a while. But anyone, I remember what it was like to have 200 subscribers. I remember what it was like to get that first 10 views on a video. I mean, starting out in YouTube is hard. It's much easier right now in this moment than it ever was. I remember doing a live for the first time, getting 3 people on it. What about energy on the Tron? Hell yeah, I'm in Dootron. I didn't invest anything. Come on. Tron doubled and earning daily divs. Thank you, Crypto Wealth, the Almighty. I'm not the Almighty. Good stuff. There's someone else that's the Almighty. That's not me. 20K theta, 100K TQ. Good stuff there. I don't know what you're talking about, John, but good stuff. Sounds like you got other investments going on. Oh, ADA. You mean the ADA token. Hey, let me just say this about Tron Double before I forget. Tron Double advertises that their contract is Tron Double advertises that their contract is verified. And I hear that, and I didn't fully understand what that meant. So someone asked me, they said, so someone posted that on, it might be one of you guys, posted that on one of my videos and said, hey, you know, good job for choosing Tron Double. That contract's verified. So I replied and said, what does that mean? And he got back to me and told me what verified meant. Well, I knew what that meant, but I was trying to figure out what does it mean to be, what does it mean? Who verifies it? You know, how do we know they verified it or whatever? And he sent me a fascinating video on Cryptomaniac's channel. And these are 2 guys, I think they might be Ukrainian or Russian or whatever, but they're developers, or at least they understand how to read the contract. And it looks like they have a service because they have a 3 or 4 minute video where they just talked about the contract. And they basically said it was a pretty straightforward contract. It's just, go look at one of my, go look at any of my other videos, John, and look in the description and you'll see a link to Tron Double, the referral link. But I appreciate you asking that. But what they basically said was there are a couple of flaws in the contract, and I didn't watch the full even 3 or 4 minutes. I just watched part of it and I went to the end. I just want to see the summary. They basically said there are a couple of flaws in the contract. It should not affect the overall functionality of contract. And then at the end, they were like, but we don't recommend you invest your money in anything like this because ultimately you could lose all of your money. And I thought, yeah, you could lose all of it if there was nothing in the contract and you didn't withdraw any of it. The great thing about these withdrawal contracts is you really shouldn't lose all of it unless the website is a total scam. Now, I went into one with about 5,000 Tron, and in 2 days, the website went down and they stole the Tron out of the wallet. That's the only time this ever happened. But you should not ever be in that sort of a position. Now, what was I going to say? I wanted to say something else about Bankroll. I can't remember what I was going to say, but I love what they're doing from when it comes to sustainability. It's just not going to last forever. 60 people watching, 100 Tron each. Live on the internet. I do plenty of things to be able to give away and support my community. I'm not really certain how to do live giveaways, and I'm not interested in creating a channel where people just show up for the free giveaway. And I'll build my channel organically. Thank you, August. I appreciate that. I do everything I can to support this community. I respond to the community. I put out good information. I try to create value. I invest my time doing it. I don't make a lot of money doing this, just so you know. As of right now, I'm down a bit. So I'm not too worried about it. Hey, Shakara, welcome to the channel. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been, smash that like button before we wrap up. And if you have any questions, oh, someone asked about, guys, please go watch Crypto Wells. Yeah, the Dootron playlist. If you've not seen the Dootron playlist on my channel, I got up one morning at 2 a.m. I got up one morning at 2 a.m. and thought, I need to get this done. And I literally cranked out videos one after the other in kind of a sort of a lesson style instruction about how to play Dootron, how does it work, the best strategy for playing, the whole 9 yards. And I put that together. And I added a couple more videos yesterday as information comes available. I may add a video later about Dootron being for sale on an exchange. The good news is the price right now is cheaper to mine it. It's cheaper to bet mine it on the website than it is to buy it on the exchange. That's for certain, 100%. Someone was asking about, that's what it was. Someone was asking about energy. I want to show this because I'm going to teach this right now real quick. So, oh, you guys can't see that. Oh yeah, you can. You should be able to see that. There we go. So energy and bandwidth. Go to the Dootron webpage, click on exchange. It's some simple exchange called Joyso or whatever. Some simple exchange like that. Any guess if Bankroll can last 6 months? You know, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. They've blown up so big. If people start gambling a lot, then it could. It really depends on how much people gamble on the website. So yeah, I think it could last 6 months, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know. How long can Dootron last? Well, as long as it looks like it's a functioning business. What do you mean, how long can it last? As a business, they should be able to last indefinitely as long as they are successful running the business. That's how long it should last. That's up to them. Now, I want to show this real quick. People ask about energy and bandwidth. As you can see, I got quite a bit here. Every account, you will have 0 energy, and you will have, on bandwidth, you will have 500 bandwidth. Bandwidth is used for sending transactions. So when you send Tron, you use bandwidth. When you receive Tron, I don't know if you use bandwidth for that, but every time, 5,000 should be enough for 25 transactions. Except when you're using these Dapps, you use quite a bit more bandwidth. Energy is primarily used for Dapps. Energy, every single time that you interact, when I did that roll earlier, and I rolled everything from here to up here, that roll uses energy. And it can be quite a bit. Now, the way you know, let me see if I can pull this up for you. Hang on, I'll show you. Give me just 1 second to pull this up. I would highly encourage everyone to ultimately free some Tron for energy and for bandwidth. But I'm going to show you how to do that here in a moment. Good stuff, Don. Good stuff. There's not a lot of volume on it. It doesn't look like it's doing a whole lot. I am not playing for the Tesla event. I'm glad everybody else is. I cannot believe that's where all those divs, people are like, oh, Tron Best divs are good. Well, they're going to drop again, unfortunately, just as soon as that Tesla's won, because I was looking at the chat yesterday, which is the best feature on Tron Bet, by the way, is that freaking chat. I was blown away. People were spending 100,000 Tron, 500,000 Tron trying to win a Tesla. And one guy claimed to have gotten either one of the jokers, but they're not, I don't know which joker it was. And I was like, wow, they are really, they're really spending some Tron on that. That's where those divs are coming from, which good for Tron Bet for creating a strategy that attracts players and not just miners. Good for them. Yeah, I'm looking forward to PvP poker. The problem is it's got to be a good software. It's got to be a good software, Roger, however you say that. It's got to be a good software. It's got to allow multi-tabling. The reality is good poker software is hard to come by. Even the poker rooms that exist right now that are doing a good business, many of them have really crappy, glitchy software. So I'm nervous that they're going to be able to pull off PvP poker. I actually think they're working on a video poker, which is awesome. If they create a flawless working video poker, that will be awesome as well, because people will absolutely play. I think that would be awesome. Do I think 888 will be able to come back? I don't think they're going to create 80 million or 280 million in divs again. No. Do I think they can come back as a business? Yes. At the beginning of this video, I showed that even at the price that I paid for tokens, I'm still getting about 0.3% a day, 100% ROI a year, over 100% ROI a year. Yeah, P3T is decreasing. Someone else said that. I would just do a withdrawal unless you just want to play the Whale Wars game. I would just be withdrawing. Yeah, I saw there was 2 Teslas. One. I wonder what they're getting. I don't think people are getting Teslas. I think they're getting just Tron value. But they may have a choice to get either a Tesla or Tron value for a Tesla. Yes, so back to energy. Good job, Shakar. I bought into 8.47. I thought it was going to drop lower. I sold everything at 10 and knowing that I was going to buy back in, but I was hoping it would drop to like 5 or 6. But then it dropped to 7, and I was buying as fast as I could. And the stupid price was moving so fast that I got in it. Most of my order got filled at 8.47. And then I sold a small amount yesterday at 14. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash that like button. Yeah, I'm still holding most of my tokens because I'm Raymond. I'm still earning. You know, I did the math. You're earning about pretty close to 1% a day if you buy in at today's prices based off the dividends from yesterday. So if the dividends can stay steady right now, the good thing is we're not going to get diluted but so fast. But you're still going to earn pretty close to a 1% right now if dividends remain where they're at. And there's no reason dividends probably shouldn't remain where they're at. I think they're at a pretty level platform right now. So there's no reason dividends shouldn't remain for a little while, potentially. I think we'll just have to continue to watch it and see. But look, 1% a day, 0.5% a day, you're still doing more than 100% a year on your investment. So you're getting paid well to hold the tokens, even if you are planning to sell later. I will sell the majority of mine if it goes up anywhere. If it starts getting into the 20s, it's going to be difficult to hold on to them. If it starts getting into the high 20s, low 30s, I'm going to sell everything down to about 2,000 or 3,000 tokens probably. I do want to hold some long term. Absolutely, Raymond. I'm the same way. I'm going to be playing the heck out of some Dootron here in a few minutes. I'm going to be playing it like crazy because the great thing about Dootron is you have to play it so you don't get diluted so fast. That's the best thing about it. And if you play more than other players, you're gaining on that. Oh man, beautiful shot card, beautiful. You're currently you're able to stay ahead of not liquidation, dilution. You're able to stay ahead of it so easy, so easy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Please smash that like button. Hit that subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate you being here. Now, let's talk about freezing Tron. Okay, so the reason you freeze Tron is you freeze it for bandwidth and you freeze it for energy. If you come here, you come to your wallet, you click Tron Power. You come down. It's not super intuitive to know how to do this. And you click freeze. That's what you have to do. Now, before we do that, I'm going to show you why you want to freeze. So earlier, I think this is on Bankroll. Sometimes it tells you the name. They'll put a name in the contract, but they don't have one. Okay. So it cost me, earlier, I think this is on Bankroll, it cost me 280 bandwidth to roll that. If I would not have had any bandwidth, if I had used it all up, it would cost me about 0.04 Tron, which isn't a whole lot. That's not a big deal. Energy, on the other hand, is expensive. Usage from, okay. So everything that I did, that used a lot of energy, 104,000. I can tell you right now, that's expensive. We're not talking about Cryptotab currently, but you should be able to make sure you turn on your mining. Click on the top right-hand corner. Look on the, you should be able to turn on mining. Click on the orange C, it should be orange. Let me see if mine's up here. Like this, it should be orange like this. And you'll see it's mining away. And this is the most passive thing on the planet, just so you know, by far the most passive thing on the planet. All right. Let me get back to where we were at. Okay, so I don't know exactly how much Tron this would be, but just to give you an example, when I was on 888 Tron, just to flip a card, that one action of playing and flipping a card, Ramon, that's Cryptotab Browser. Check another one of my videos where I'm not talking about Tron dApps. And I use that to mine passively. It's just like the Chrome browser, except it mines Bitcoin slowly, or Satoshi slowly. Anyway, it cost me just to flip a card in Tron when I ran out of energy, 0.5 Tron. So you think about every 4 seconds, you were burning up 0.5 Tron, 0.5 Tron, 0.5 Tron. That adds up. And it took, look, let's just break out the calculator. I know some of you all like the calculations. You know I mess this up. If you have patience, I can do calculations. So think about this. It took about 4 seconds to do a transaction on 888. So 4 seconds divided into 60. So it's 15 transactions in a minute when you were auto mining. So that was 7 Tron in a minute getting burned up. Times that by 60 minutes. That was 900 transactions in an hour. You were burning through 450 Tron, not having any Tron stored as energy. You were burning through 450 Tron in an hour just in transaction. Now, it was worth it because the dividends were so high. So it was still worth it at the time. You multiply that by 10 hours of mining, or if you're like me, 24 hours. Heck, I'll do 24 hours. That's 26,000 divided by 2. That's 10,000 Tron, almost 11,000 Tron a day getting burned up just in energy if you don't have Tron frozen for energy. If you have Tron frozen for energy, like I do, just so you know, this is still not enough. I'm bringing up. This is still not enough energy for continuous mining. It burns it up. Hey, Crypto Smoke. It burns it up, but it will refill. It takes 24 hours to refill. So even though you've burned it all up, you're still earning a little bit of energy, and it will burn the energy first, and then it will cost you Tron. So sometimes my transaction would show 0.2 or 0.1 as I was earning. So when you freeze Tron, just to show you again how you freeze it, you come to, I'm on tronscan.org. You come to tronscan.org, just to show you how to get back here, the easiest way. Tronscan.org, and then come to wallet. Just click on power. You'll get to this. This is an overview of your wallet. Scroll down to freeze. And then you just choose your amount. So you can choose 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 100, whatever. John, it's hard to say. Every dApp costs a different amount. I will give you a strategy for freezing here in a second. And you choose freeze for bandwidth or freeze for energy. Now, most of us are playing dApps. I would freeze for energy first, and I would put more for energy, maybe 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 personally, because these dApps burn a lot of energy. And energy is by far the most expensive. I mean, bandwidth was 0.04, energy was 0.5. So I would definitely focus on saving more for energy. Click confirm and then click freeze, and you're done. And what that will do, this is what I have frozen so far. And I basically will almost every day I put back, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 in Tron. And when you freeze it, it's going to be frozen for 3 days, meaning you cannot unfreeze it for 3 days. That's a good strategy, Big Smoke. Mikey, then it's fun once you learn it. So, and it's currently one of the easiest ways to earn crypto. So when you freeze it, it's locked up for 3 days. Now you can come and after 3 days, you can unfreeze it. I don't typically, like, I treat it partly as a savings account and partly as a resource. It saves you a tremendous in the long run. Well, I just showed you, if you were mining for 24 hours on 888, you saw how much it saved you, 11,000 Tron. It pays for itself fast. The cool thing about Tron getting burned, most people don't know this, that Tron burn for energy, most of it gets burned permanently. So it decreases the Tron circulation. So by you not having to get Tron burned, you're basically keeping yourself ahead of dilution, which is awesome. So the other thing about freezing it is you get free BTT. That's absolutely correct. You get airdrops. It's not a lot, but you'll get free BTT tokens. Like I'll show you. Let's see if I can bring it up. These tokens here, I've never bought these tokens. Never, never, never. But they have a chance to be able to be worth something one day. And I got them totally for free. The other thing is when you freeze, you have a chance to vote. Again, right beside the freeze button, you'll see this right here, vote for super representatives. So when you vote for super representatives, the top 27 are super representatives, is my understanding. Everyone else is trying to get enough votes to be a super representative. But the super representatives Tron is a proof of stake coin. So what that means when it's a proof of stake coin, what that means is that they're staking rewards. Well, with Tron, those staking rewards only go to the super representatives. And all of these, like if you research each one of them, these people are most all of them are very important to the Tron network. Like BitGuild Wallet, some of you have heard of that. Sesame Seed's a big player. A lot of these, Tron Spark is one of the best news sites related to Tron. They're all Tron investors. They're all very supportive of the Tron network, big time. So Intergalactic Gaming is one that someone told me about. I find these guys amazing. You can open team page. You can go to their website. You can read all about what they're doing. It's really, really fascinating. They're basically creating an esports platform similar to the casino dApps, but they are really taking their time developing something extraordinary over there. So you choose who you want to vote for. Most of these top 27 give somewhere between 50, most even 80 to 100% of the rewards they get, they redistribute to the people who vote for them. Now, I vote for Intergalactic Gaming. Right now, they're giving 100% redistributed. The rewards they get from the Tron network, they redistribute. So all you got to do is click on Start Voting. And then if you have votes, I don't have votes because they're all used, as you can see right here on Intergalactic Gaming. You just click plus or minus to who you want to vote for. And you can spread your votes out. The cool thing about Intergalactic Gaming is they're right now giving airdrops on their gaming token. Now, I've only gotten one small airdrop. I think they do it weekly. And I only had like 5,000 Tron then. But they do these gaming tokens. Well, their gaming token is traded, I think, on Tron Trade or KiwiDex, one of those. And it's not even a usable token yet, but they're planning to use their token on their gaming platform. So I'm just holding on to it because their token could be worth something one day. So I'm getting free airdrops just for freezing your Tron. You save money on energy, a lot of money, a lot of Tron, not money. You save a lot of Tron on energy. Plus, you get passive Tron, which it comes out to about 3 or 4% a year that you get back on whatever you have frozen. Plus, you get airdrops of BTT tokens. Plus, you support the network. By freezing your Tron, you help secure the network as well. So there's a lot of advantages to freezing Tron. So you definitely want to make sure you're freezing your Tron if you're in these dApps. Does someone else have a question? Tron Vault Bitcoin for life. I'm spread too thin right now. I've not looked at it very seriously. Yeah, I agree with that 100% big smoke, 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering if there is a lag, there is a lag. The streaming lags a little bit. I don't think there's a lag in comments because I'm looking at the comments on my mobile device. Yes, what is the exchange to trade? Tron Trade is probably the biggest one. TronTrade.io. Cody, by far. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Help a brother out. Do you know if BTT is planning something like BTT is already active, is my understanding. No, you can't. I don't think you can trade any TRC20 token, but Tron Trade has a lot of them. There's also another one called KiwiDex. I would check both of those. They're both pretty big, Cody. The BTT token, my understanding is it's going to be used as a form of currency on the BitTorrent network. To be able to get like premium spots or whatever, you can pay people in BTC to be able to download faster from the torrent network. That's what my understanding is. Tron's long-term vision is more of a media platform on the blockchain. That's really their long-term vision. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's what they're doing. How soon to Dootron exchange? It's already on the exchange, Bitcoin for Life. Go to Dootron and click on exchange. It's already there. They just came up. It came live today, and it's selling for like 3 or 4 Dootron. Heck, at that rate, if the divs weren't so good, the divs are too good. I would be selling my Dootron. I mean, I know for a fact I didn't spend 3 Dootron, but I would have to unfreeze them. What are you currently doing with Dootron? What do you mean, what am I currently doing with Dootron? I am playing and hodling it. My goal is to get to 100,000 Dootron. That's why I looked at the exchange. I was going to buy some. If it was like below 2, below 1.5, I was going to buy some. I want to get to 100,000 Dootron. That's my goal. I'm at 20,000 now, but 100,000 Dootron is going to get me at current dilution rates between 500 to 1,000, 20,000 to 40,000 a day in dividends currently. That's what I'm looking to do. Dootron's amazing and it's fun. Could you all imagine, see if TronBet or 888 bought the rights to Dootron? Could you imagine? I'm not going to outright tell you exactly how many Tron I have, but you can see my wallets. It's at least the ones I show. Could you imagine what percentage of your dividends do you compound daily? You know what? Blockchain Benji, I probably compound almost 100%. I keep some liquid, but I move them around. I keep it diversified, and I covered all the platforms. Oh, well, if you call a couple $1,000s in Tron a whale, then call it a whale. Decentral Joy Exchange owns Dootron. What are your personal thoughts on the price of Tron in the year? You know what, Cody? I try not to speculate too much. If I get too much Tron, though, I would diversify out of it. I don't necessarily have too much yet, but I would diversify out of it. Not because I don't believe in the future of Tron. I'm actually pretty optimistic about the future of Tron. I don't know where the price can go. I do believe there's a bull market. Tron's going to ride that bull market with it. Mini whale. Okay, you can call me a mini whale. I do think that Tron's going to go up a little bit. I just don't know to what degree. I mean, they're holding the price solid. They're not getting enough, in my opinion, they don't get enough respect. I mean, the amount of transactions they're doing, the speed of the transactions, I want to look at EOS a little bit, not because I like the platform, just like I didn't like Tron initially, to be honest with you. I didn't like the platform. I don't necessarily like EOS platform, but they've got a lot of dApps. So at some point, I may look at what they're doing because I really like the participation that occurs in crypto. I don't like the fact that a lot of people participating in these platforms don't really understand the technology, and they don't understand why the technology is so extraordinary. Bottom line, I believe this technology is life-changing. We are part of a massive economic revolution that has taken place and a technological revolution. And I think, unfortunately, when a lot of people get into these dApps, it's just all about trying to earn more crypto, but they don't really understand what's so incredible about crypto. Long term, I'm massively bullish on the entire market. But even though most people don't understand what's so great about it, Bitcoin for Life is honest. He said on his channel one time, yeah, the technology, but I'm in it for the money. I get that. I mean, especially because the potential is so high right now. It's risky as crap, but it's so high. However, the flip side of all of this is that people accidentally learn about it. Like you learned about freezing Tron today. You start learning a little bit more about it as you're involved with it. It's like you get exposed to it, you get involved with it, and then you kind of get upgraded to a greater understanding of it. So that's what's incredible. Yeah, if Tron moons, that's going to be beautiful. To be honest with you, that's where my real FOMO comes from. My real FOMO and why I like these dApps, truthfully, I've always been a little bit of a gambler at heart. What's more risky, crypto or the dollar? Ed, don't go there. Don't go there. I agree with you 100%. I think the dollar's by far risky, but there's an entire illusion right now that most people don't understand. There's a great documentary that you all should look up. If anything that I'm saying resonates with you, please hit that thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe, because this is truly the most passionate part of my channel, the thing that I get the most excited about. believe it or not. I talk about these dApps because they're interesting, and it's the thing that most people are excited by. YouTube audiences love it, and I like it. So it's fun to talk about. But the purpose, the real purpose in crypto and what it can do is what is extraordinary. That is what most people are missing out on. And even if you're here for the fun and games, you're here for the dApps, at least you're here and you're not totally missing out on what's going to happen in the future, I believe. When is it going to happen? In a year, 10 years from now? I don't know, but it is going to happen. Yes, Sumit, I can go off on this topic right here. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, John. Thank you. Thumbs up. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate it. Make a Tron commercial. The most fascinating thing about Tron is that, let me get back to that. Sorry, I was talking about it's underrated. Most people are so caught up on the fact that the white paper was plagiarized, and it probably is. It probably, I get it. I fully get it, Bitcoin for life. It probably is underrated. Well, it is underrated, and it was plagiarized. Sorry, I can't look at the comments right now. When I look at the comments, I can't talk. So let me just talk for a moment, then I'll look back at the comments. So the white paper probably was plagiarized, and that doesn't bother me. I mean, was it the best thing to do? No. Does Justin's son admit that it was plagiarized? Absolutely. He denies it, which I think is hilarious. That's fine. Neither here nor there. I think what Justin's son did was very similar to what Jeff Bezos did with Amazon. If most of you are old enough, if you have been an adult for 10 years or more, you probably remember when Amazon was nothing but a bookstore. Well, you may not realize, if I've seen a couple of documentaries on Bezos, he never intended to be a bookstore. From the very beginning, he wanted to own the entire e-commerce space. And not just the e-commerce space, he wanted to own the commerce space. The reason that he started as a bookstore, because he did his market research. And he realized two things. The book market was the easiest market to enter, and it was the area that he could create the most improvement the fastest, so he could dominate that market the quickest, which is exactly what he did. It was his foot in the door. It was his point of entry. And from there, he has gradually expanded to the behemoth that Amazon is now. Now they're selling groceries. All these guys that are doing the Amazon FBA stuff, they don't even realize that they're part of his business plan. Ultimately, there will be no Amazon FBA, if you know what that is. Ultimately, there will be no individuals on Amazon. Amazon's allowing people to do their own market research, and they're slowly pushing out the Amazon sellers in the long run. Amazon sellers brought inventory, they brought product, and they allowed Amazon to do a lot of market research. Ultimately, they're going to either totally push out Amazon sellers or they're going to drastically minimize them. Wow, appreciate it. Blockchain Benji, I so appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That helps that sting on those 888 tokens drop into almost nothing. I appreciate it. Thank you. So with that being said, the Amazon became who they are by looking for a weak spot in the market that they could improve upon. And Amazon now is selling groceries, and I think they did buy Whole Foods. No telling where they're going to be at in the long run and what they're going to do. They'll probably be doing drone deliveries one day. Who knows? Practically everybody's ordered something on Amazon. You imagine that kind of business where practically everyone in the developed world has ordered something from your store. You think about that. That is unbelievable. That's how you get $1 trillion business. But I think cryptocurrency has a potential to be far bigger than that. I think cryptocurrency is going to create the first trillionaire in history. I just think that is so unbelievably possible because of the universal aspects of what can take place with this technology. So Justin's son, I think that he went after Ethereum the way that he did because he knew immediately, turn this thing to proof of stake, stop screwing around with trying to get to proof of stake, just do it. And delegated proof of stake is even faster. And I think he knew from day one. He copied Ethereum. He created an ERC20 token. Then he launched his mainnet, which is 100% modeled after Ethereum. They say if you can develop on Ethereum, you can easily develop on Tron. There's a very fascinating video on a developer that I saw that was an Ethereum developer who said that he didn't want to like Tron. But when he launched projects on Tron, it was the very same development, and they just ran faster. Now, there are some potential problems with Tron ahead. I'll talk about that here in a moment. So the thing is, Justin's son did was he copied Ethereum, and then he added proof of stake and delegated proof of stake. And it's created it to be so cheap and easy to transact. It's so inexpensive compared to Bitcoin or Ethereum. I mean, it's pennies. It's 1 Tron typically for a transaction, sometimes less than 1 Tron. It's and 1 Tron's not even a penny, right? So it's 2 pennies, I guess. So it costs you a couple of pennies to transact versus several pennies to, in some cases, a couple of dollars on Ethereum. Bitcoin, I mean, when the network's congested, I've seen it as much as $70. You can't buy a cup of coffee and pay a $70 transaction fee. Most of the time, Bitcoin is still a couple of bucks, 50 cents, 40 cents. That's not usable for like these dApps and stuff. But Tron, especially if you freeze it for energy and bandwidth, it becomes incredibly cheap and useful. Now, there's 2 problems I see for Tron in the future. First of all, there's a lot of questions about the security of the network, and that concerns me. I'm not a developer, so I don't know enough about that. There's a lot of questions that they're not taking security. Justin Sun says they are, but he also says that the network they didn't plagiarize the white paper. So I don't believe him on the white paper, and I don't know how serious they're taking security. But with that being said, the other issue is concerning a little bit is, do we know where future development is going to go? Now, looking at the past track record, the development that they've done so far has been great, but can they continue to innovate? The fact they didn't stay at ERC20 token and they created ERC. Paul, thank you so much. Wow. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. The fact they created an ERC, ERC20 token and didn't stay there, and then launched their own mainnet and created a TRC20 token, that's amazing. That is incredible. That shows that they were willing to do development. Now, people say things like, Justin Sun's not even a developer. I don't give 2 craps if he's not a developer. You know what? Henry Ford wasn't a mechanic either. Who cares? Who cares if he was a developer? All that matters is, in fact, I think that we need some more CEO types in this space. I mean, part of the problem with decentralization is that it is so decentralized, which I'm a fan of decentralization, but it's so decentralized that everybody does their own thing and nobody moves together in a common direction. I think it's great that we have some sort of governance to the point that someone can be a leader and lead the ship, especially for Tron. Now, I'm not looking for Tron to be a cryptocurrency like I want Bitcoin to be, but I do like the fact that there's a CEO operating this thing, at least for now. Now, what his legacy is down the road, who knows? The guy's a young guy. Hopefully he's doing something great in this space for a long time. But maybe after his death and he's long gone, or he steps down, at that point, maybe it's left as a decentralized project. Who knows? I don't really know. Or it's a more decentralized project, I should say. But I think that with his ability to market and promote is phenomenal. He is so underrated. The problem with most of these cryptocurrencies, they don't do enough marketing and promotion. Give Dash credit. They have about the best marketing plan on the planet, and they're doing a phenomenal job with their marketing. Give Justin Sun credit. I mean, the guy attacks Twitter like it's nobody's business, and it's freaking effective. So my long-term outlook is positive for Tron, but it's not without a few glitches. Let's look at a couple of questions here. And then we'll wrap this up with questions. Man. So the government is going to red tape Bitcoin. There will be licenses and fees of you own Bitcoin. I don't know what they're going to do. They will get involved. They will get involved. Yes, I agree with that. Somebody asked. The Tron dApps are far faster and far better. Cody asks, every major entrepreneur was inspired by someone else's idea. Look at Mark Zuckerberg and the Winklevoss twins. That's exactly right. If you don't think the Winklevosses, if you think Mark Zuckerberg did not steal their idea, I'm not saying he outright stole it, but he borrowed a lot of their concepts clearly. And if you were the Winklevosses, you'd be pissed off. I mean, he basically borrowed their concepts and ran with it. He's like, it would be like hiring a developer, sharing your ideas, and the developer running off with your ideas. That is exactly what happened, unfortunately. Bitcoin for Life says Amazon pays in crypto at the plant in Maryland. That's crazy. That's cool. Can I have some Tron to start out with? No. Justin Sun from underdog to bulldog. Yeah. And I think he's still an underdog. BTC is just good for bring bull run, but its speed and transaction fees is bull crap. That's right, Summit. It is good to bring a bull run, but it's also still the most stable cryptocurrency. And I believe in the long run, I'm a BTC bull, and I'm pretty close to a BTC maximus in theory. But in practice, I hold more Tron right now probably than BTC. Book calls it works. But I think Bitcoin is most likely to be the cryptocurrency. And I hope that we have a worldwide cryptocurrency that's decentralized at some point. I wouldn't want that to be Tron. Tron's not decentralized enough. That's crazy. I'm trying to sell an American muscle sports car via Tron on XRP. Anyone interested, look at Tron Spark's website. That's amazing, manager. Cody, who do you think the best super representative vote for is and why? I'm currently using IGG. I don't know that they're the best, but you can research all of them. I like what IGG is doing. It basically comes down to who do you like. Yeah, crypto gains, we covered that at the beginning. You can buy Dootcoins. By the way, go check out Crypto Gang's website. The guy's got a great website too. He's a smaller YouTuber. Give that guy some love. Go subscribe to his channel. Dashing dash. Go to Token Goodies coin. Yeah, manager says go to Token Goodies. I knew there was a website out there. TokenGoodies.com lets you know who gives the most rewards for your vote. But let me say this. Don't let the most rewards alone be the reason you vote for somebody. Just know that. Make certain that you kind of like their project. Show them some support for their project. Do you think Dapps will bring Tron? I think you're saying, do I think that they will bring Tron up? Yes, absolutely. You can buy Do. Go to the Dootron website, P3T heme, click on exchange, but it's pretty expensive right now. It's almost 4 Tron for a Do. CryptoMac, we talked about that at the beginning of the stream. Do you think Tron Dapps will move Tron to all-time highs? I don't think the ROI Dapps alone will do it. I mean, those things have a short lifespan. They're fun to play with, but that is, to be honest with you, in my opinion, they're the lowest bottom of the barrel of all the Tron Dapps. I mean, they're never going to get respect. Nobody's ever, I see these guys talking about, Bankroll talks about having an API so other companies can somehow connect. Could you imagine having a legitimate crypto business, even if you were TronBet and you were like, okay, use your Tron dividends to go into Bankroll, and then Bankroll goes under eventually, because it will eventually, obviously. I mean, you would have customers pissed off at you potentially for something that you had no part of doing other than telling them to, put their divs there. Why would you even be associated with it? I think the ROI dApps are fun, but I don't think they go anywhere long term. Now, if one of these casinos can create a real business, I mean, if TronBet or 888 owned something like Dootron, if they created that kind of game, and I'm trying to figure out why they aren't. Like, they're making enough revenue. Why are they not? I mean, they could probably go buy Dootron, or they could at least get their own developers to create something similar. That's one of the concerns I have with TronBet and 888. There's a bunch of talk about development, but we're not seeing really good development. I mean, even this Tesla, I had a lot of hope for this Tesla event, but if you're not honest with yourself and say you were disappointed when you saw the game they come up with, I mean, that was so basic. I mean, I was so disappointed. Now they're supposed to come out with another game after the event, which is going to be poker-like or poker. We'll have to see. CryptoMark, I don't agree with that necessarily. I do think that might be, unfortunately, that might be part of their game plan. I think some of them are doing a hit and run. How much can we make and move on? And we won't know. Time will tell us if 888's doing that and TronBet's doing that, but they very well could be doing that. But if they can have the potential to create a great business. And Tron is a place to be able to create a casino DApp for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that, Sumit Das. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for watching. Before you head out, please hit that like button. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hit that bell notification icon. I don't go live often. I am planning to go live once more, probably the end of the week. I don't go live often, but I put out videos on a pretty regular basis. Sometimes I get prolific. The past few days, I put out multiple videos. The playlist on my channel for Dootron, please go take a look at that playlist if you are playing Dootron. Do your best to lose the least amount you can gambling by checking out the Dootron playlist, and pay the least you can to earn Do to get the Do token. If you don't understand what the Do token is or what Dootron is, just go look at the playlist on my channel for Dootron, how to play for profit and play for fun, or play for fun and profit. Go check out that playlist. And also, if you would, do me a favor and tweet the Dootron, share my playlist on Twitter and send it at the Dootron people. I think that no one's done a playlist like that, and I think that they need to become aware of that. I'm going to tweet it as well, but I want them to be able to hopefully get some exposure. If you don't mind doing that, if you don't mind helping my channel out, you don't have to, but I would appreciate it if you did. Thank you so much for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being a part of this community. Please understand that we truly are on a revolutionary space right now. The world is going to be changed through cryptocurrency and because of cryptocurrency, and you're a part of it. Thank you for being here.